Have you ever felt like you were in the right place at the right time, but for the wrong reason? Like you were facing a challenge so big you couldn't possibly be the one to solve it? If so, you need to hear the incredible story of a young woman named Esther. Long ago in the vast Persian Empire, a young Jewish woman found herself in a position she never could have imagined. Her name was Esther, and through a series of unlikely events, she was chosen to be the new queen. She was known for her beauty, but her true strength lay in her wisdom and humility, and she held a secret close to her heart. She was one of God's chosen people, a fact unknown to almost everyone in the royal court, including her husband, King Xerxes. Meanwhile, a man named Haman was climbing the ranks of power. He was ambitious, cruel, and filled with a bitter hatred for the Jewish people. He saw them as a threat and poisoned the king's mind against them. Haman convinced King Xerxes to sign a decree, an irreversible law, to completely annihilate every Jewish man, woman, and child in the empire. Once the king's seal was on the decree, it was official. The news spread like wildfire, and a wave of terror swept through the Jewish communities. It seemed like their fate was sealed. Hopelessness began to set in. Inside the palace walls, Esther's cousin, Mordecai, heard the terrible news. He knew there was only one person who might be able to stop this catastrophe: Queen Esther. He sent her a desperate message, begging her to go before the king and plead for the lives of her people. But this was no simple request. Esther sent a message back, reminding him of the deadly palace law. No one, not even the queen, could approach the king uninvited. The penalty for breaking this rule was instant death, unless the king, in a sign of favor, extended his golden scepter. Approaching the throne was a life-or-death gamble. Mordecai's reply was the spark that ignited Esther's courage. He sent back a message that has echoed through centuries. Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Those words struck Esther's heart. Suddenly everything became clear. Her position as queen wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't just good luck. God had placed her in the heart of the empire for a reason, for this exact moment. She wasn't just a queen, she was an instrument of hope. Filled with a new sense of purpose, Esther made her decision. She sent word back to Mordecai, asking him to gather all the Jews and to fast and pray for her for 3 days. She and her maids would do the same, and then she would go to the king, even if it meant her death. After 3 days of prayer and fasting, Esther put on her finest royal robes. She took a deep breath, and with every ounce of courage she could find, she walked into the king's inner court. Can you imagine the tension? The guards staring, the courtiers whispering. Every eye was on her as she approached the throne. Would the king be enraged by her boldness? Would this be her final act? The king looked up and saw her. For a moment, the world stood still. And then he smiled. He held out his golden scepter toward her. Her life was spared. The first hurdle was cleared, but Esther was wise. She didn't blurt out her request right away. Instead, she masterfully invited the king and his most trusted advisor, Haman, to a special banquet she had prepared. At the feast, the king was so pleased that he again offered her anything she wanted. But she held her ground, simply inviting them both to a second banquet the next day. It was at that second banquet, with her heart pounding but her resolve firm, that Esther finally revealed her secret. She looked the king in the eye and said, "If I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, grant me my life. This is my petition. And spare my people, this is my request, for I and my people have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." The king was stunned and then enraged. "Who is he? Where is the man who has dared to do such a thing?" he demanded. With all the courage in the world, Esther raised her hand and pointed directly at the man sitting beside him. The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. In that moment, Haman's evil plot was exposed. Justice was swift. The wicked decree against the Jews was overturned, and a new one was issued, allowing them to defend themselves. An entire nation was saved from destruction, all because one woman chose courage over fear. This story is more than just ancient history. It's a powerful reminder for you and me. None of us are here by accident. The job you have, the family you're in, the community you're a part of, the challenges you're facing right now, God can use it all for a greater purpose. Maybe you feel like you're in an impossible situation. Maybe fear is whispering that it's too risky to speak up or too dangerous to do the right thing. In those moments, remember Esther. Remember Mordecai's words. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. God may have placed you right where you are, not by chance, but for a divine purpose. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. We love sharing these messages of hope with you. See you in the next video.